Yeah, hi there. These comments are for DL, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for the online TOEFL course, the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. You're one of my students, also at California State University, San Bernardino, in both my TOEFL and critical thinking classes. So you're doing a summary of Stephen Jay Gould's article here, right? And that's what we're taking a look at right now. Here, it says, in the essay, Sex, Drug, Disaster, Extinction of Dinosaurs, the author, Stephen Jay Gould, discusses the extinction of dinosaurs from 3 aspects. I would just do this to be a little more concise. The author analyzes these proposals, and you might say, here, he categorizes them as being science or speculation. In our second paragraph, the testicular theory you might say regarding the extinction of dinosaurs according to Gould. So don't forget the voice markers. You want to use those in every paragraph. States that the temperature rises during the Cretaceous period consistently. You might say rose during the Cretaceous period consistently, so that the dinosaurs could not shed the heat in time. And here, put the semicolon to separate those 2 sentences. Therefore, their testes could not function well, which led them to sterilization and extinction gradually. Exactly, so that's pretty good. So let's clarify an issue. So when you're reporting and explaining the ideas, for example, Gould's ideas, introduce his ideas with present tense verbs, but then when you refer to some of these ideas that he's talking about that happened 65 million years ago, it's probably better to refer to these ideas in the past tense. Okay, let's take a look at your next one here. So secondly, the drug theory is about some, just say some flowering plants, I would say, which had psychoactive chemicals in them. The dinosaurs, according to Gould's explanation of this theory. See, you didn't really develop this one enough. So the dinosaurs ate these plants, and maybe because their livers could not detoxify so they could not detoxify the harmful maybe substances, you might say. The dinosaurs became became extinct because of overdoses, right? So he's explaining this theory. Okay, so that's probably all we have to do. Let's check one more time. So secondly, the drug theory is about some flowering plants which had psychoactive chemicals in them. Dinosaurs, according to Gould's explanation of this theory, ate these plants, and because their livers could not detoxify the harmful substances, maybe these, we already said dinosaurs before, so let's use a different word. These large reptiles became extinct because of overdoses. So this paragraph, you didn't have quite enough in there, so be careful that you don't leave out any important information when you're summarizing. Okay, so with your next paragraph, let's take a look. So the disaster proposal states that a comet or asteroid, I would say here, struck the Earth at the time of the dinosaurs and created a cloud of dust that blocked sunlight for several months. And let's put states Gould. Consequently, photosynthesis stopped and the world's temperatures decreased. And dinosaurs became extinct. Because many of the animals they ate, you might want to say that they ate, had died of starvation. Probably want to say that the main idea, what Gould was trying to point out is because of the photosynthesis stopped, right? So you had the dust going around the air, and you had the plants were dying because they weren't getting sunlight, and so the smaller animals were eating the plants, the larger animals were eating the smaller animals, and the dinosaurs were eating those larger animals, but there was no food for the dinosaurs to eat because many of these animals died because of starvation. So I think that's an idea that you want to mention. Okay, so let's go to your last paragraph. So to conclude, the author considers the testicular and drug theories a speculation because they're both untestable, since testicles and livers do not fossilize. I think that's an important idea. You don't have to say a lot in here, but I would definitely say that. However, the author thinks the disaster theory is maybe, how about represents real science because it can be tested by measuring the levels of iridium in rocks at the time of the dinosaur extinction. Yes, that was very good. I like that. Very good paragraph here. So excellent. Okay, so what can we learn from this error correction of your writing? There's two main things here. Number one is make sure that in every paragraph, right, you have a voice marker which attributes this information back to Gould, right? And I added those in there. That's the one thing. Number two, make sure that you're not leaving out any important information. So I think in one of your paragraphs I had to add a little bit. I added a little bit at the end. But overall you were fairly complete and accurate in your summary. But you have to make sure you're catching the most important ideas. Number three, the third thing that you can learn from this lesson here is, yes, when you're introducing the writer's ideas and explaining them, you want to use present tense verbs. However, in this case, Gould was referring to events that happened over 65 million years ago. So as you explain those events, it would be better, I think, to use past tense verbs in those cases. Right? Does that make sense? So those are 3 things that you can look at. Okay, let's read your essay one more time. Okay, in the essay, Sex, Drugs, Disasters, and the Extinction of Dinosaurs, the author Stephen Jay Gould discusses the extinction of dinosaurs from 3 aspects: sex, drugs, and disasters. The author analyzes these proposals and categorizes them as being science or speculation. Firstly, the testicular theory regarding the extinction of dinosaurs, according to Gould, states that the temperature rose during the Cretaceous period consistently so that the dinosaurs could not shed the heat in time. Therefore, their testes could not function well, which led them... I'm going to change this word order, which led to the sterilization and extinction of the great beasts. Gradually. Alright? Let's go to your next paragraph. Secondly, the drug theory is about some flowering plants which have psychoactive chemicals in them. The dinosaurs, according to Gould's explanation of this theory, ate these plants, and because their livers could not detoxify the harmful substances, these large reptiles became extinct because of overdoses. Lastly, the disaster proposal states that a comet or asteroid struck the Earth at the time of the dinosaurs and created a cloud of dust that blocked sunlight for several months, states Gould. Consequently, photosynthesis stopped and the world's temperatures decreased, and dinosaurs became extinct because many of the animals they ate had died of starvation. To conclude, the author considers the testicular and drug theories as speculation because they are both untestable, since testicles and livers do not fossilize. However, the author thinks the disaster theory represents real science because it can be tested by measuring levels of iridium in rocks at the time of dinosaur extinction. Exactly. So look at that. This is a really simple, a very nicely organized summary here. Okay, so for Blackboard, I'm going to give you full credit for doing this assignment, right? But I'm just trying to provide you some feedback for your writing so you can kind of see what's going on. So don't forget the 3 things I outlined in the lesson.